shop. Turn those TVs on.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, this is script, is it?
A different TV for every TV.
And then can you turn that light on? In behind it, I think there's a switch. Little switch, I thought I see Lee do it. On off switch there. It is bright. I think that's HDMI 1, I think you can fix.
Snowy like that?
Nope.
Alright.
I thought it was HDMI.
Yeah, actually my one said no signal though, so I thought maybe it wasn't that one.
HDMI 3? I can't remember which one he uses. Maybe 2?
Is it on? Third time's a charm?
Sure. Usually. Third time's a charm, maybe not this time. As long as I have one going, April I'll be good. Expecting many up here, or no? When you're giving her free hot dogs, maybe. Eh? Oh, there we go. We got 2 of them going. That's fine. Oh, geez, we got 3.
Oh. One of them must be like the primary and they're all connected to the rest.
Yeah, I guess so.
Alright. So you're golden?
I'm good.
Alright.
Thank you. goodness, I'm so relieved to hear it's you down there tonight. I had to listen to that other fellow one more night, especially back-to-back nights.
Yeah.
I would have threw the headset on the ground.
Alright.
Do we want to do a test here? Or?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay.
Mic check 1 2 3 4 5. Mic check 1 2 3 4 5. Mic check 1 2 3 4 5.
All good here. Do you know how we're gonna open this? Like, what time it even starts? Like, we're not gonna roll the traditional race day intro, are we?
No, we're just going to come to me probably in about 10 minutes.
10 minutes. And you're
I'll
teeing
do
off?
like a tee-up of the night,
Okay.
and then just wait for the parade, I guess,
Okay.
of
Sounds good.
the first qualifier.
Just give me
I think they usually come out around 5:25, 5:26.
5:26 or so. Okay.
Yeah, because the first one goes at 5:30.
Okay. All
And
right.
they usually just come out and jog around a couple times and go.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't take long.
I see there's you got the script up there as well.
Yeah.
How do you want to play that? Like, after they go around and they finish their, are we coming back on camera? 'Cause it says host on camera. I know when we did the baby races or whatever, there wasn't a whole lot of time for.
Right.
They were kind of bang, bang, bang.
Right. Well, I guess we'll just see how they're banging them out.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
If they're rolling them right out, then maybe we just scrap the stuff.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Matt, you can come to me around 5:20. I would say.
5:20 sounds good.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
let's start talking here in a second. You can come to me.
Okay.
Good evening and welcome to Redshores Racetrack and Casino here on this Friday evening. A special qualifying session on for you tonight. 12 qualifiers. We're going to get our first look at the future stars of racing tonight. It should be a great night. In qualifier number 3 tonight, we're going to get a look at last year's sail topper, Woodmere Kennedy. She's going to go in qualifier number 3 for Mike McGuigan. Again, we got 12 qualifiers. The first qualifier should be coming out in the track in just a couple of minutes, and we'll go behind the gate at 5:30 p.m. So it should be a great night. We have face painting tonight here on the grounds with free hot dogs, and we have that virtual racing experience down at the trackside patio. So it should be a really fun night. We hope you enjoy it. And again, the first race will be coming out on the track in just a few moments.
Check see if that other mic, Lee's mic next to you is live. Is it? I can hear audio coming from somewhere. It is? Okay, I'll just mute it for now, or if you can mute it, that'd be great.
The first two-year-old qualifier enters the track for the parade. They'll be on the fast track. It's 26 degrees Celsius. Senior judge tonight, Derek Quinn, with the associates Dylan Lane and Ronnie Hennessy. Here's the first race parade. Tobin's Chester 1. Owned by Donald McRae of Vernon Bridge. Trained by Jason Hughes. Mark Bradley returns. 2. Tobin's Barn Party. Owned by Donald McRae of Vernon Bridge. Jason Hughes training and driving. 3 is Peter Pang, owned by Melissa Rennie and the JTL Risk Stable. Melissa trains, Adam Murner driving. Restive Spirit, the 4, owned by Wayne McCrae, Fall River, Nova Scotia. Dan Ross of Belfast for trainer-driver Gilles Barrio. And Jackie's Boy, the 5. Miles Heffernan of Montague is the owner and the driver. Miles Jr. does the training. The future stars of racing, baby races around the track. A special thank you to PEI Harness Racing Industry Association, Red Shores, and Greenhawk for special winner's circle presentations. We hope you enjoyed the new harness racing virtual display set up at the trackside patio. Kurt Hughes is coming up next.
Okay, out onto the track we go for qualifier number 1 tonight. As Vance mentioned, a beautiful night here for qualifying, 26 degrees. And there's a look at the 2 right now, Tobin's Barn Party. It was a $26,000 purchase at the last year's Atlanta Classic sale. The half-brother to Tobin's Party was by Malicious, who has a mark of 201-4 and a little shy of 8,000 and earnings. The 2, Tobin's Barn Party and Hughes. And there's a look at his stablemate, and nice to see Mark Bradley back in the bike tonight. Tobin's Chester has the rail here in this first qualifier. He was a $40,000 yearling purchase at last year's sale. Half-brother to Carlissimos by Shadow Play was a mark of 150 and over 400,000 in earnings. And a half-brother to Tobin's Brownie, stakes champion here by Stonebridge Terror, who has a mark of 53 and 3 and a little over 158,000 in earnings. So excited to see this one go. Peter Pang is a half-brother to Better Than Butter, who's by Westward Ho Hanover, who has a mark of 56 and 2 with earnings of a little over 27,000. And Huya Kalina Cougar, who is by Cougar Hall with a mark of 56 and a little over 35,000 in earnings. And Adam Murner is driving the 3. Number 4 is Restive Spirit for Gilles Barrio, was a $38,000 purchase at the Harrisburg sale. A half-brother to Boardwalk Jack, who is down by the seaside with a mark of 51 and 2 and earnings of 72,000. And Flip My Chip, a Heston Blue Chip horse with a mark of 51 and 2 and a little over 100,000 in earnings. And Jackie's Boy rounds out this field
For
of
these
5.
2-year-olds, they'll line up, go a half a mile on the starting gate. Get used to that iron machine in front of them. They'll be off to the races here in a field of 5. A couple of Jason Hughes trainees, Melissa Rennie, Barrio, and Heffernan Jr. are the conditioners of these entries. Some of them seeing the starting gate for the very first time, and really well behaved too. Have a Shanghai Phil Gelding on the rail. Shanghai Phil Gelding from 2. A Peng Shui from 3. Mick Wickett from post 4. And a Tobago Kays from post 5. So it's the first of 12 future stars of racing. What a beauty Friday evening to get it on. In the opener, Tobin's Chester, Tobin's Barn Party, Peter Pang, Restive Spirit, Jackie's Boy, here they come. And there they go, off and pacing, and the early speed comes from the outside. Jackie's Boy going on to the lead. Second towards the rail is Tobin's Chester. Then third on the outside is Tobin's Barn Party. To get fourth along the rail is Peter Pang, and the early trailer, that is Restive Spirit. So they're up the backstretch and going to the opening quarter. Jackie's Boy and Miles Sr. clear by 3 in the early going. Second is Tobin's Chester. Tobin's Barn Party got away third, racing up fourth. That's Peter Pang in the trailer fifth. Restive Spirit. They're over to the quarter in 30 and 4. Midway round the turn they go in straight alignment, arriving at 3-8. And out in front, the fraction center, Jackie's Boy. Continuing second is Tobin's Chester. Tobin's Barn Party are racing third to the midway point. Peter Pang goes fourth, and watching it all from the trailing spot, Restive Spirit. So positions are unchanged for the opening half mile. They've closed in on the leader, who is Jackie's Boy. The half mile, 101 and 4. Mighty good clip in here as they race over to the 5/8 next. Racing from second is Tobin's Chester. Tobin's Barn Party around the turn third. Peter Pang continues fourth, and the trailer fifth. That is Restive Spirit. 3/4 comes next. Jackie's Boy, the serious leader there. Clear by 2. Tobin's Chester races from second. Third is Tobin's Barn Party. Peter Pang fourth, and a Restive Spirit fifth. 3/4 went 132 and 3, 30 and 4 in the third, and they turn for home. And it's all Jackie's Boy. The Tobago Kays Colt heads down to the line, open lengths. Second, Tobin's Chester. Tobin's Barn Party on the outside. Jackie's Boy all the way for Heffernan Sr. Tobin's Chester was second. Tobin's Barn Party third. Then came Peter Pang and a Restive Spirit. How about this one? 201 flat. Here's the rundown in the first baby race. It was Tobin's Chester second, Tobin's Barn Party third, Peter Pang fourth, Restive Spirit fifth, Jackie's Boy the winner, 30 and 4, 101 and 4, 132 and 3, a mile and 201. In review, it's 23451. Well, the old Cape Brettoner had one ready. Oh, now he's a PEI Islander. Here is Jackie's boy in the first of 12 two-year-old races on this Friday evening. Bay Colt. He is 2 by Tobago K's off the Ameripan Gigolo Dam, Dusty Lane Bria, owned by Miles Heffernan Sr. of Montague. Miles Sr. did the driving. He's the breeder. Miles Jr. does the training, and he was impressive. 2-1 with a 28-2. Closing quarter, Jackie's boy, 201. So we're going to have a look at some 2-year-old trotters here in the Future Stars for the second race. The one is Ocean View Daisy, owned by Hardcourt Racing of Belfast. Jeff Holmes is the trainer, and Kenny Murphy does the driving. 2 is County Line Babe, Jackie Heffernan, Glace Bay, Nova Scotia, the owner. Miles Heffernan Jr., the trainer. Miles Sr.'s in for the ride. And the 3, Getting Lit, owned by Jamie Whalen of Vernon Bridge. Mike McGuigan trains and drives. Don't miss the Canada Day card at Summerside. The traditional card comes up on Saturday, July 1st, post time, 1 o'clock at Redshores, Summerside.
The Atlantic Dream Stable of 2023 is back, sponsored by Phillips Agri Services, your local supplier of quality horse feeds and dealer of Brooks Performance Horse Feed and SureGain Horse Feed. And entries close July 22nd, and you can enter at atlanticdreamstable.weebly.com. Okay, we got 3 2-year-old EL Rockets in to go here in this second qualifier. The 1 Ocean View Daisy is a half-sister to Osprey Impact, who has a mark of 53-3 and a little over $127,000 in earnings. A half-sister to Ocean View Massey, who has a mark of 58-1 and a little over $30,000 in earnings. The 2 County Line Babe was a $8,500 purchase at the Atlantic Classic sale last year and is a half-brother to Mr. Miller, who was by Ted the Stud, who had a mark of 202 and 2 with a little over $24,000 in earnings. And the 3 there is Getting Lit for Mike McGuigan. Was a $21,000 purchase at last year's Atlantic Classic sale and is a half-brother to Sailor Blue, who was by Aaron Barrister, who has a mark of 57-3 and a little shy of $55,000 in earnings. And Getting Salty, who was by Muscle Through It, who has a mark of 202 and 1 and a little over $31,000 in earnings.
So the sire EL Rocket is well represented in here, all 3 of them. A couple of colts and 1 filly, sired by EL Rocket. I know Kurt Hughes is with us here tonight. Maybe some technical difficulties. Hopefully we get them straightened out. And these 2-year-old trotters, a trio of them. Very respectful behind that starting gate. Got an EL Rocket on the rail off the Angus Hall Dam Summerhill Holly. And we got a Rocket from a Nike's Image, Maisie Dawn in the middle. And then we've got a Rocket from a Yankee Glide Dam, Santa Hanover. from post 3. And they got some size to them, too, these 2-year-old trotters. So they line on the gate. There's Ocean View Daisy, County Line Babe, getting lit, top of the stretch. They're approaching a start. Green light go. Off and trotting and getting lit will be the first one out. Second to the turn is Ocean View Daisy. Then the trailer will be County Line Babe. So they trot around the turn en route to the opening 8th. And along the inside, Ocean View Daisy has the lead at the 8th pole. Getting lit now on the turn is second. Then the trailer is County Line Babe. So up the backstretch they go, led by the Bay filly, Ocean View Daisy for Kenny Murphy. From second, that is Getting Lit, and the trailer third is County Line Babe. So they move on by the opening station, led by Ocean View Daisy, 33, and 4 was the quarter mile. Getting Lit around the turn is second. County Line Babe is the trailer third, so they come off the turn and they straighten through the stretch. The half mile is their next station. Ocean View Daisy on the lead. Racing from second is Getting Lit. The trailer is County Line Babe. So the EL Rocket Filly is all alone halfway home. Second, that is Getting Lit. And the trailer, County Line Babe. They're over to the half mile in 1:04. So there's a quarter in 30 and 1. And that was put up by Ocean View Daisy. She's freewheeling and she looks extremely large on the lead. Getting Lit races from second. Then the trailer, that is County Line Babe. They're over to 3/4 next. Looks like an 8 horse in here. That's Ocean View Daisy. Racing second is Getting Lit, followed by the trailer. That's County Line Babe. So there's another quarter of 30 and 2 off of 3/4 in 1:34 and 2. She's exceptional in her debut. That's Ocean View Daisy. Second is Getting Lit. Third, that's County Line Babe. So as she arrives at the finish, here's the EL Rocket Filly, Ocean View Daisy, Kenny Murphy. Put her on top at every call. Getting Lit got the deuce. Finishing third, that's County Line Babe. And the 2-year-old Trot Filly will throw a closing quarter at them in 29 and 3, winning in 2:04. Flat. Here is the rundown in that second Future Stars trot. Ocean View Daisy, the winner. County Line Babe was third. Getting Lit finished second. Fractions were up 33 and 4, 1:04, 1:34 and 2, and a mile in 2:04. From the top, 1:32. Well, I think it's safe to say that trainer Jeff Holmes has done his work to get this trotting filly to the future stars of racing here tonight. She's at the winner's circle, and she is Ocean View Daisy, the Trotting Bay Filly 2 by E.L. Rocket off the Angus Hall Dam Summer Hill Holly. She's a producer, owned by Hardcore Racing of Belfast. Filly bred by Bill Rollison of Belfast. She's trained by Jeff Holmes. Kenny Murphy was along for the ride, and she was impressive. 204.
Grandstand seats go on sale June 27th, $55 each, and the price includes race program, prize draws, food service from 7 to 9 p.m. in the 1888 lounge, and a wagering BOGO. And again, tickets go on sale June 27th at 10 a.m. in the race office. You can call 902-629-6636, and the price does not include admission to the grounds.
Race number 3 have the 2-year-old filly Pacers. And they're on the track. Number 1 is High Roller, owned by K-Max Stables of Stanhope, Corey Livingston of Village Green, trained by Melissa Rennie, Adam Erner driving. 2 is Woodmere Kennedy, owned by Mike Pollard of Stratford, for trainer-driver Mike McGuigan. Downtown Tonight wears number 3, owned by Cam McPhee of Charlottetown, Gordon McPhee of Stratford. Tommy Weatherby is the trainer, Brody McPhee driving. 4 is Miss Dutton, owned by Dave Turney of Cornwall and Mitch Turney of Guelph, Ontario, trained by Curry White. Kenny Murphy drives. Live racing back here tomorrow night. New post time for the event, 5 o'clock, featuring the Home Hardware Maritime Breeders and 2 divisions of the Cecil Ladner Memorial Invitational, presented by Ladner, Source for Sports.
Okay, there's a look at the 2 entry here in qualifier number 3. This was the sale topper last year at $43,000 from the Atlantic Classic sale. Half sister to Woodmere Fenn, who was by a Roll With It Harry, who has a mark of 152 and 86,000 in earnings. Okay, there's the 1 entry, High Roller and Adam Erner, $16,000 yearling purchase last year at the Atlantic Classic yearling sale, and a half sister to Sports Report, who's by Sports Writer and has a mark of 154 and 65,000 in earnings. And now we're getting a quick look at the 3 entry Downtown Tonight. A full sister to Cobra Kai, who is also by Shanghai Phil, and has a mark of 51 and 1 and 100,000 in earnings. And a half sister to Chairman, who was by Sunshine Beach with a mark of 53 and 1 and almost 45,000 in earnings. And Miss Dutton, you don't want to mess with her. A Roll With It Harry filly at a Woodmere Dance and Art.
Well, the confirmation on these 2-year-olds must be incredible. Here's heat number 3. I don't think I've seen a set of knee boots yet out there. It's just amazing how they're put together and how they behave going to the starting gate. We've got 2-year-old fillies here in the 3rd. High Roller, Big Jim filly off the Santana Blue Chip. Mare Diana Santana, bred by Doug McPhee. Woodmere Kennedy's got the 2. A Roll With It Harry off the 4-star Shark Dam, 4 stars Roll, bred by Woodmere Farms. Downtown Tonight is the 3. Shanghai Phil filly off the Jenner's Beach Boy Dam Fanciful, bred by Cam McPhee. Miss Dutton, a Roll With It Harry filly off the Articulator Dam Woodmere Dance and Art. Dave and Mitch Turney on the breeze. There's a field of 4, and these are 2-year-old filly pacers lining up. High Roller. Woodmere Kennedy. Downtown Tonight. Miss Dutton. And they're on the gate. Top of the stretch. Here they come. There they go, off and pacing. And the first two out, they are Woodmere Kennedy and Downtown Tonight. And up the rail, High Roller is coming on now to lead them around the turn, the early trailer. That'll be Miss Dutton. So they're over to the 8th pole. And coming up from the outside, Downtown Tonight, the Shanghai Phil Philly with Brody McPhee will take over the lead. High Roller goes second. Then a racing third is Woodmere Kennedy, and Miss Dutton is trailing the field in the early going fourth. So they're at the opening station, and up front the leader, Downtown Tonight for Brody McPhee, by a couple, the quarter 32 seconds. High Roller around the turn. She's second, racing from third, Woodmere Kennedy, and Miss Dutton is with the leaders trailing fourth. Off the turn they come, and they straighten through the stretch. The half mile comes next, and on the lead is Downtown Tonight. Racing from second in that two-hole is High Roller. Woodmere Kennedy continues third, and Miss Dutton is the trailer fourth. At the midway point in the third, they're led there by Downtown Tonight, by Shanghai Phil, off the Jenner's Beach Boy Dam, Fanciful, and another quarter and 32 seconds. When you add them up, the road to the half mile in 1:04. Up the backstretch they go. The three-quarters comes next. On the point, Downtown Tonight continuing to lead. High Roller. Woodmere Kennedy along the rail third. Miss Dutton, the trailer fourth. No movement with a quarter of a mile left to go. And on the front end, Downtown Tonight maintains the lead on High Roller. Woodmere Kennedy is third, to the outside fourth. Miss Dutton, the three-quarters tripped in 1:35-1. They're turning home now. Downtown Tonight, the leader. Here's High Roller now on the outside to put her head in front. Miss Dutton is there along with Woodmere Kennedy. High Roller, the big Jim Philly with Adam Murner. Second, that is Downtown Tonight. Miss Dutton is third. And Woodmere Kennedy fourth. 2-0. 4-2. Now the results of that third baby race. High Roller the winner. Woodmere Kennedy fourth. Downtown Tonight was second. Miss Dutton finished third. Fractions of 32. 1:04. 1:35-1. And the mile 2:0. 4-2. In review 1:4. 2-3. There's High Roller arriving at the winner's circle. The Pacing Black Filly, 2 years, by Big Jim off the Santana Blue Chip Dam. Diana Santana on the K-Mac Stable of Stanhope, and Corey Livingston of Village Green. Bred by Doug McPhee of New Haven. Trained by Melissa Rennie. Adam Murners in the driver's seat. And the filly comes a quarter in 29 1. 2:04 2, the time for the mile. High Roller in the Future Stars of Racing. We have some more Future Stars of Racing. The fourth race enters the track. We'll get a look at some 2-year-old Colton Geldings in here. One is Woodmere Armour, owned by Reg McPherson of Stratford, for trainer Kevin McLean and driver Mark Campbell. Sword from the Stone, number 2, is owned by Orville Willis, player Sweet Valeri, Gordy McCollum of Brackley Beach, trained by Brian McPhee, and Brody McPhee is the driver. Dunsan George is the 3, owned by Atlantic Racing George Group of Warren Grove. Trained by Nick Oakes, Adam Murners is the driver. Halmac Exclusive, number 4, owned by Jimmy Gorman, Leith and Leslie Waite, Corey McPherson, training and driving. 5 is Baby Be Better for owner Jackie Heffernan, Glace Bay, Nova Scotia, trained by Miles Heffernan Jr., and that's Miles Sr. in the sulky.
Okay, there's the one entry here in the fourth qualifier. Woodmere Armor was a $33,000 purchase at the Atlanta Classic sale last year. A full brother to Woodmere Androli, who has a qualifying mark of 154 and 3 in earnings of over 25,000. Number 2, Sword from the Stone, was a $8,500 purchase at the Atlanta Classic sale and is a brother to Bridge Token, who is by Stonebridge Terror, who has a mark of 56 and 1, a little over 45,000 in earnings. And there's the 3, Dunsan George. This one is an Arthur Blue Chip gelding out of Flurgy, who is by Ameripan Gigolo and had a mark of 57 and 1 and a little over 50,000 in earnings. And the 4 is Howmack Exclusive, a $17,000 purchase at last year's Atlanta Classic sale. Full brother to No Boats on Sunday, who has a mark of 59 and 3 and a little over 31,000 in earnings. And number 5 is Baby Be Better, a half brother to Edom Sports Baby, who's by Sports Writer and has a mark of 54 and 1 and a little over 72,000 in earnings.
Well, it's nice to have Kurt Hughes back on the air with us. Kurt, I didn't know it was going to take you that long to get your face painted up here on this Friday evening for Future Stars of Racing. Nice to have you back online here as the fourth race lines up. And as I was speaking earlier, Kurt, again, a field of 5 in here, not a knee boot to be found. It's just incredible how they're put together.
Yeah, pretty incredible nowadays, the conformation and the breeding. They just come out like aged horses, it seems, when they're born. I got one over there in the field, and she just seems like she knows what to do right off the bat. They're pretty, they're not like they used to be, Vance.
No, I remember way back in the day, what it was the time to break these things. Like, they broke more jog carts and harnesses and laid down not once, not twice, 2, 3, 4, 5 times before they decided to put it together. Oh, the breed has come a long, and I mean a long way down here in the East Coast. Here's race number 4, the Future Stars. They're lined up. Woodmere Armour, Sword from the Stone, Dunsan George, Howmack Exclusive, Baby Be Better, and they're right on the top of the stretch. Here they come. There they go, off and pacing, and from the outside, Baby Be Better right to the front. Second one to the turn is Sword from the Stone. Racing from third, in between horses, Dunsan George. At the rail fourth is Woodmere Armour, and the early trailer, Howmack Exclusive. So the early leader, and it's by 4 open lengths. That's Baby Be Better for Miles Sr. Racing from second, Sword from the Stone to get away third. That's Dunsan St. George. Racing fourth is Woodmere Amore, and trailing the field is Halmack Exclusive. So they arrived at the opening corner. Baby Be Better was there in 31-3. Rounding the turn second, Sword from the Stone, racing third. St. George back into fourth is Woodmere Armour, and then the trailer is Halmack Exclusive in fifth. Positions are unchanged. They arrive next at the opening half mile. Baby Be Better will get them halfway home with the 3-length advantage. Second is Sword from the Stone, racing from third. St. George. Fourth up the rail is Woodmere Armour. Continuing to trail fifth is Halmack Exclusive. Opening half mile in 1:03 consecutive panels in 31-3. Baby Be Better widening the lead as they swing to the back stretch for the final time. Sword from the Stone continues second. St. George at the rail third. There goes Woodmere Armour to the outside fourth. Going to the outside fifth. Halmack Exclusive. They arrived at 3/4. Baby Be Better got them there in 1:34-2. Alone on the lead, going to the 7/8 is Baby Be Better. Sword from the Stone is second. Woodmere Armour third, way wide. Halmack Exclusive and St. George. Through the stretch they come to the wire next. And Baby Be Better was the best of the lot for Miles Sr. Driving up on the far outside, Halmack Exclusive was second. Third, Woodmere Armour. St. George is fourth as they race in 2:04-2. Now the results from the fourth baby race. Woodmere Armour was third. Sword from the Stone finished fifth. St. George was fourth. Halmack Exclusive finished second. Baby Be Better was the race winner off of fractions of 31-3. 1:03-1. 1:34-2. And the mile 2:04-2. In review, 3:54-1. Well, Team Heffernan, they're getting a workout on the tarmac as they go to the winner's circle for the second time here on the Future Stars night. Fourth race winner is the 5 Baby Be Better. Black Coal 2 by Better Than Jetter off the Jeremy's Jet Dam. Don't Call Me Baby. Owned by Jackie Heffernan, Glace Bay, Nova Scotia. Bred by Jeffrey Williamson of Blythe, Ontario. Trained by Miles Heffernan Jr. and Miles Sr. has his second Future Stars winner of the night. And the coach home in 2:04-2.
The PEI components of the Atlantic Invitational Series, which leads to the Premier's Cup, begin tomorrow night with the Cecil Ladner Memorial, and many of the region's best free-for-allers will compete in this event, which is a prelude to the $35,000 Governor's Plate presented by Summerside Chrysler Dodge and the $100,000 Gold Cup and Saucer presented by Atlantic Lottery. The meal and deal for June at Red's Gold Cup Lounge on the Red Shores Charlottetown Casino floor is prime rib meal and dessert for only $19.95. Rewards members get $10 in free play or match play Friday nights at Red's Gold Cup Lounge. So we got a little break here after the fourth qualifier, and we're going to have another break after the eighth qualifier, just so the trainers can get the babies warmed up that are going in the later qualifiers. And so while we have a break here, I want to tell you about that 15- card tomorrow night here at Red Shores. We've got a special post time at 5 p.m. tomorrow night for that card. Maritime Home Hardware, Maritime Breeders, sophomore colts, and fillies in two divisions of the Cecil Ladner Memorial going tomorrow night as well. Going to be a fantastic card, loaded with talent. We hope you can join us here on track, and if you can't, you can join us at Redshores.ca.
Well, it's time to get back at it as the 2-year-old filly paces here in the Future Stars of Racing. We're on race number 5, and they're on the track for the post parade. Passcode the 1, owned by Joseph Wilkie, Andrea McRae of Nova Scotia, Brady Doyle, trainer driver Jill Barrio. Tobin's Hottie wears number 2, owned by Trish Hardy from Garland's Crossing, Nova Scotia. Corey McPherson, the trainer driver. Freaky Fanny, the 3, is owned by Josh McDonald of Little Pond. Mike McGuigan training and driving. Rosie All Over wears number 4 for owner Carson Wilkie of Stratford. Kenneth Wilkie, the trainer. Adam Murner's aboard. The Future Stars of Racing, baby races, they're on the track. A special thank you to PEI Harness Racing Industry Association, Red Shores, and Green Hog for special winner's circle presentations. We hope you enjoy the new Harness Racing virtual display set up at the trackside patio, and Kurt Hughes is with them, and he's up next.
Thank you very much, Vance. Yes, McRae's Backhoe and Trucking is proud to sponsor the Open Mares Final on Atlantic Breeders' Crown Sunday with the Joe and Stephen McRae Memorial for $15,500, and the company will also sponsor a Fall Non-Winner Series with details to be announced later. For conditions, race dates, and more, go to horseperson's information at Redshores.ca. And there's the one Passcode and Barrio, a $35,000 purchase at the Harrisburg sale out of Code Inn, who's by Art Major, and this one is who is a half sister to Maxie Bond by Some Beach Somewhere, with a mark of 49 and 4 and over $300,000 in earnings. Corey McPherson aboard the 2. Tobin's Hottie was a $10,000 purchase at last year's Atlanta Classic sale. Half-sister to Gracie's Glory by Art Speak, who had a mark of 59 and 2 and a little over $6,000 in earnings. And the 3, Freaky Fanny, driven by Mike McGuigan, was a $21,000 purchase at last year's Atlanta Classic sale. A full sister to Speaking of Shadow by Art Speak, who has a mark of 157 and 1 and just shy of $22,000 in earnings. And there's the 4, Rosie All Over and Murner. This one was a $3,000 purchase at the Atlanta Classic sale. A half-sister to Money or Roses, who was by Cougar Hall, who has a mark of 53 and 3 and just shy of $100,000 in earnings. And this one is by Hilarious Halo.
Just incredible. The least amount of equipment, Kurt, when we were talking there earlier, and I talked about the old days back when I started this gig in the mid-'70s, about how Adios Forevers and Harry the Wigs and Fastways come to the track, and they wore every piece of gear that was in the tack trunk. And take a look at these 2-year-olds that we've already seen. Here's some fillies lining up in the 5th. field of 4 along the backstretch.
Yeah, the breeders, we got to give a big shout out to the breeders for advancing the breed so fast, and a shout out to the trainers too, who school these babies and go with them all winter long and get them used to the gate and that. They just look like aged horses out there.
And Kurt, that's why the Atlantic Classic sale is such a successful event. It's been building and building and building. Where it stops, nobody knows. We put some incredible equine athletes on the racetrack. Here's some 2-year-old fillies in the 5th. Passcode, Tobin's Hottie, Freaky Fanny, Rosie all over. They are on the gate. Top of the stretch. Here they come. Rough and pacing, Rosie all overs leaving from the outside. Passcode at the rail is second. The third one into the turn, that is Tobin's Hottie. And then the early trailer will be Freaky Fanny. So they settle up as they arrive at the 8th pole. And Burial will have Passcode on the early lead going to the opening quarter. The Better's Delight filly. Away second is Rosie all over. Up into third is Tobin's Hottie. And Freaky Fanny is right with them in the trailing spot 4th. Over to the opening quarter, Passcode has a 2-length advantage. Racing second is Rosie all over, 31 and 2 the quarter mile. Tobin's Hottie around the turn races from third, trailing 4th. That is Freaky Fanny. In straight alignment, this field of 4 comes down the stretch for the first time en route to the opening half mile, and Passcode is the fraction center. Rosie all overs in the 2-hole. Racing from third is Tobin's Hottie. Trailing the field 4th is Freaky Fanny. They're halfway home. Passcode the midway point leader in 1:02 and 2. A 31-second second quarter. Over to the 5/8 pole they go. Passcode on top. Rosie all over races second. Third on the cones is Tobin's Hottie. And going to the outside 4th, that is Freaky Fanny. Halfway up the backstretch now. 3/4 is the next station. Passcode the leader there. Freaky Fanny now on the outside up to engage the leader. Third up the rail is Rosie all over on the outside 4th. Tobin's Hottie. We got a new leader. 3/4 went 1:34. And the new leader on the outside, Freaky Fanny turning home. Passcode at the rail second. Tobin's Hottie third. Rosie all over 4th. Deep in the stretch now. It's McGuigan and Freaky Fanny on the line. The Archpeak filly. Passcode was second. Tobin's Hottie third. Rosie all over at the inside 4th. Time for the mile. 2:03 and 2. His results in that 5th Future Stars race. Passcode was second. Tobin's Hottie third. Freaky Fanny was the winner. Rosie all over finished 4th. They went 31 and 2. 1:02 and 2. 1:34 and the mile 2:03 and 2. From the top 2-3 1-4. Here comes Freaky Fanny to the fifth race winner's circle. The big-pacing filly 2 years at honor of Hearts Peak off the Shadow Play Dam. Silver Hill Bunna, owned by Josh McDonald of Little Pond. Bred by Lee Gavin of Tignish. She's trained and driven by Mike McGuigan. The mile 2-3 and 2, 29 and 2 closing quarter. That's Freaky Fanny in the Future Stars of Racing.
The Island Trot Challenge will be unveiled this season, supported by the Fox Group. The series will showcase the top trotters in action all summer, leading to the fall finale on Atlantic Breeders' Crown Sunday, October 8th. And for conditions, race dates, and more, go to the horseperson's information at Redshores.ca.
Now entering the track for the 6th Future Stars race, the 2-year-old Trotting Fillies. Ma Barker, the one, owned by Trish McGregor, trained by Doug McGregor, Brody McPhee driving. Cardigan Cutie is number 2, owned by Jimmy Gorman, Kevin Taylor, Brenda McQueen, Faith Mitchum, Corey McPherson training and driving. Getting Tipsy 3 for owner Jamie Whalen of Vernon Bridge and trainer driver Mike McGuigan. The Governor's Plate presented by Summerside Chrysler Dodge, set for Saturday, July 15th at Red Shores, Summerside. Watch for details on a special Governor's Plate watch and wager party at Redshores.ca. Up next, a promo for Summerside's biggest race of the year.
The Governor's Plate has a storied history in harness racing on Prince Edward Island. Through the years, deserving winners and champions have been celebrated in Summerside. From the first edition in 1969 and every year since, this race is a must-see on the harness racing calendar.
There's a brouhaha going on in the Governor's Plate. Boom! Just like that, 27 seconds flat. It is history. 2-time winner, Outlaw Positive Charge at Terry Gallant has done it tonight. New leader, Macapulco, in line to Barrio, El Fronto. Governor's Plate, 54, no plan intended for David Dowling.
The Governor's Plate, proudly presented by Summerside Chrysler Dodge. Visit Redshores.ca for more details.
Can't wait for that race coming up. It's coming right around the corner. And out onto the track we go here for qualifier number 6. We're getting a look at the one Ma Barker and Brody McPhee. This one was a $13,000 purchase at the Atlanta Classic sale. A half-sister to Noble Prize by Cadabra. Has a mark of 54-4 and $172,000 in earnings. And this one is by Wheelin' and Dealin'. Mile Hill Willie, the sire of the 2, Cardigan Cutie, driven by Corey McPherson, a $17,000 purchase at last year's Atlanta Classic sale. A half-sister to Treasure on the Water, who's by Ted the Stud, with a qualifying mark of 2.6 and earnings of just over $20,000. And there is Getting Tipsy and Mike McGuigan. This one's by E.L. Rocket, a half-sister to Getting Messy. We all remember that guy. By Armbro Barrister, who was a mark of 154-2 and just shy of $240,000 in earnings.
Take a peek at the size of this colt of Corey McPherson, Kurt. He's large.
Really good size. And Mike McGuigan on the outside there, Getting Tipsy, a real good size as well.
We got some 2-year-old trot fillies, all 3 of them. We're going to take a half-mile trip around the track. Get a look at that piece of metal in front of them, a Wheelin' and Dealin' filly on the rail. Off the Yankee Glide Dam, So Peachy, that's Ma Barker. Then we got a Mile Hill Willie, filly in the 2-hole. Off the Yankee Glide Dam, Ginger Glide, that's Cardigan Cutie. Then we have an E.L. Rocket filly off the Perfect Spiral Dam, Hypnotic Chris. And that's Getting Tipsy. I know Claire McDonald qualified a couple of 2-year-old trotters last weekend at Churl. Bill Fallon attempted to qualify a 2-year-old trot colt up home in Summerside. Here's our second division of the 2-year-old trotters. This time they're all fillies lining up here in the 6th race of our Future Stars program. Ma Barker, Cardigan Cutie, Getting Tipsy, top of the stretch. They're approaching a start. And there they go, off and trotting with Getting Tipsy, leaving from the outside. On the rail, that's Cardigan Cutie. And Ma Barker will be the third one as they enter the first turn. And along the inside, trotting on with the lead, it'll be Cardigan Cutie. And going off stride is Getting Tipsy. Ma Barker is a little rough in the 3 spot. So they trot up the backstretch, and she'll have to do her own thing up front. That'll be Cardigan Cutie with Corey McPherson out in front, double digits before the quarter pole. Racing from second is Getting Tipsy, and Ma Barker, she is the trailer in third. So they arrived at the opening station. Cardigan Cutie put a 35 and 4 opening quarter on the board. She's the leader as they arrive at the 3/8. Second is Getting Tipsy, and she's gone off stride. And trailing the field, that is Ma Barker. So all alone here to do her own thing in our 6 Future Stars of Racing is Cardigan Cutie, the sizable filly at the midway point for Corey McPherson. Ma Barker is now second, and on the outside, that's Getting Tipsy in third. So halfway home, Cardigan Cutie put the half up in 109 and a 1/5. Ma Barker now is second, and Getting Tipsy is the trailer as they go on by the 5/8. At least Cardigan Cutie takes them on by the 5/8. She'll trot up the back stretch on route to 3/4. She is the daughter of Mile Hill Willie, and she arrives at 3/4 with McPherson. Getting Tipsy has regained second, and Ma Barker is now third. So inside of a quarter of a mile left to go. The 3/4 trot it in 1:42 and 2. Around the turn for the final time. Cardigan Cutie has 1/8 of a mile to go. Second is Getting Tipsy, and Ma Barker third. And homeward bound comes Cardigan Cutie. She's put all the numbers on the board, and she will be a distant winner here in our Future Stars of Racing. Cardigan Cutie for Corey McPherson. Getting Tipsy is second. Ma Barker will finish third. The mile in 2:14 and 3. Now the results from the 6 baby race. Ma Barker third. Cardigan Cutie the winner. Getting Tipsy was second. And they went 35 and 4. 109 and 1. 142 and 2. And a mile 2:14 and 3. From the top, it's 3-1-2. Size does matter. Here's Cardigan Cutie to the sixth race winner's circle. Trotting Bay Filly, the 2-year-old daughter of Mild Hill Willie, is off the Yankee Glide Dam Ginger Glide. Home with Jimmy Gorman, Kevin Taylor, Brenda McQueen, and Faith Mitchum. Bred by Berkey by the Bay Stables, and she's trained and driven to victory by Corey McPherson. A mile in 2:14 and 3. Cardigan Cutie in the future stars of racing.
McRae's Backhoe and Trucking is proud to sponsor the Open Mares Final on Atlantic Breeders' Crown Sunday with the Joe and Stephen McRae Memorial for $15,500. The company will also sponsor a fall non-winners series with details to be announced later. For conditions, race dates, and more, go to the horseperson's information at Redshores.ca.
So the 7th baby race on the track, 2-year-old colts. There's the 1 Scarlet Rocket, owned by Daryl and Gordon McLean and Stephen Downey. Daryl McLean, training and driving. Mr. Andrechuk is the 2 for Sandra Webster, Jeffrey Cummings, Courtney Gallant, Nicole McPherson. Cliff Murphy, the trainer. Kenny Murphy drives. 3 is Mudslide Lucas, home with Jackie Heffernan, Glace Bay, Nova Scotia. Miles Jr., the trainer, and Miles Sr. drives. And number 4, My Pet Monster, home with Jeffrey Campbell of Judique, Nova Scotia. Conditioned by Melissa Rennie and Adam Erners along for the ride. Don't Meal and Deal Fridays in a Reds Gold Cup Lounge. Complete details for Reward Club members available at Redshores.ca.
Okay, excited for the return of this too. The Gold Cup and Saucer presented by Atlantic Lottery will be Saturday, August 19th, 2023, and it's going to be again this year $100,000 final. And grandstand seats for the Gold Cup and Saucer, they go on sale. Same great price, $55 each, and they go on sale June 27th. And now onto the track we go here for qualifier number 7. There's the 1 Scarlet Rocket, Daryl McLean aboard. It's a half-brother to Frontier Sealster by Artistic Fellow, who has a mark of 152 and 2 and just shy of 140,000 in earnings. There's the 2 Mr. Andrechuk, Kenny Murphy aboard, $9,000 purchase at last year's Atlantic Classic sale. A half-brother to Roderick Sealster by Roll with Joe, who has a mark of 201 and 2 and a little over 3,000 in earnings. Both those colts by all bets off, and now we're looking at the 3 Mudslide Lucas, and Mudslide Lucas by Tobago K's, half brother to Cheeky Cherry by Westward Ho Hanover, was a mark of 53 and 4 and earnings of over 100,000. And there's the 4 My Pet Monster, full brother to Still Owing, and who has a mark of 55 and 4 and earnings of over 21,000.
Two-year-old Colt Pacers for the 7th. Getting introduced to the starting gate. Got an all bets off colt on the rail off the Rock and Roll Hanover Dam Field of Rhythm. Another all bets off colt comes from post 2 off the Art Major Dam, Rose Nose. The 3 is a Tobago K's colt off the Cam's Card Shark Dam, Chayabanaska. And a Shanghai Phil colt on the outside from post 4. Out of the I Am a Fool Dam, they're paid for. The 2-year-old Colt Pacers in our Future Stars Friday night at the driving park. Lined up here in the 7th. Scarlet Rocket, Mr. Andrechuk, Mudslide Lucas, My Pet Monster. Top of the stretch. Here they come. Fancy stepping at the rail was Scarlet Rocket as they're off and pacing, leading them out. Mr. Andrechuk into the turn. Mudslide Lucas is second. Getting a better stride at the inside third is Scarlet Rocket, and the early trailer, My Pet Monster. They arrive at the 8th pole. Mr. Andrechuk with Kenny Murphy out in front by 4 open. Moving into second is Mudslide Lucas. Away third is Scarlet Rocket. Then the early trailer, that is My Pet Monster in 4. So loose on the lead here in the early going. Mr. Andrechuk all alone out in front. Mudslide Lucas goes second. Scarlet Rocket is third. Trailing the field, that's My Pet Monster. The quarter mile was up in 30 and 4. Mr. Andrechuk is the fraction center. Racing second is Mudslide Lucas. Coming out of the turn third is Scarlet Rocket. Then the trailer fourth, My Pet Monster. They're starting to close in on the leader, and that's Mr. Andrechuk halfway home. Racing from second towards the inside is Mudslide Lucas. Going third into the turn is Scarlet Rocket. And My Pet Monster trails the half mile in 1:02 and 3. Over to the 5/8 they go. And Mr. Andrechuk continues to lead. The lead down to 2. Mudslide Lucas closes in on the leader. Racing from third is Scarlet Rocket, and trailing the field, My Pet Monster is fourth. They arrive at 3/4. Mr. Andrechuk continuing to lead. Mudslide Lucas races second. On the turn third goes Scarlet Rocket, and My Pet Monster tipping to the outside fourth. The 3/4 up in 1:34 and 1, and they get set to turn home, led by Mr. Andrechuk. Mudslide Lucas is second. My Pet Monster third. Scarlet Rocket towards the rail. On the line they land next, and it's Mr. Andrechuk all the way for Kenny Murphy. Second is Mudslide Lucas. That's My Pet Monster third, and Scarlet Rocket fourth, and they stop the clock in 2:04 flat. Now the results of the 7th baby race. Scarlet Rocket 4th. Mr. Andrechuk the winner. Mudslide Lucas was 2nd. My Pet Monster finished 3rd. The fractions were 30 and 4. 102 and 3. 134 and 1. And the mile 204. In review, it's 4-1, 2-3. Well, we've got a lively bunch going to the winner's circle here to greet the 7th race winner, who is Mr. Andrechuk. Bay Pacing Colt 2, the son of all bets off, from the Art Major Dam, Rose Nose. The owners are Sandra Webster, Jeff Cummings, Courtney Gallant, and Nicole McPherson. The colt bred by Sealster Farms of Lucan, Ontario. Cliff Murphy does the training. Kenny Murphy put him on top at every call. 204. Mr. Andrechuk in the Future Stars. Now time to check your 50-50 draw tickets for this Future Stars of Racing night, valued at $219, the winning number. It's A2536717. Tonight's 50-50 winning number for $219. A2536717. 6717. Good luck. So the 8th race, as the 2-year-old filly Pacers, they're entering the track. Number 1, I'll Bet You, I'll Beat You, is owned by Heather Sheen of Summerside, trained and driven by Mike McGuigan. Western Lily, number 2, owned by Blair and Carl Hansen and Isaac Skierman and Shane Essen. Melissa Rennie's the trainer. Adam Murder drives. Fern Hill Indigo, the 3, owned by the Next Generation Stable of Stratford, trained by Tommy Weatherby, Brody McPhee. And number 4, She's Just Misunderstood, owned by Donald McCrae of Vernon Bridge, for trainer driver Jason Hughes. It's the 8th race, 2-year-old filly Pacers. Red Shores is Atlantic Canada's premier entertainment destination.
Follow Red Shores' official social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can get the most accurate, up-to-date information on racing, restaurants, casino, gaming floors, and any new announcements from our Red Shores official platforms. Okay, there's the one. I'll Bet You, I'll Beat You. Mike McGuigan at the lines by Control the Moment, a $13,000 purchase at last year's Atlantic Classic sale, and she is a half-sister to Century Georgia by Shadow Play, who has a mark of 53 and 3 in earnings of over 100,000. Also, Century J-Rock, if you recall, Jason Hughes had Century J-Rock last year. He was a sharp 2-year-old last year. So this is a sister. I'll Bet You, I'll Beat You. The next 3, all sired by Malicious. This is the 2, Western Lily, Adam Murner aboard, a $16,000 purchase at last year's Atlantic Classic sale. Makes her a full sister to Windermere Albert, who has a mark of 58 and 1, over 40,000 in earnings. Brody McPhee aboard the 3, Fern Hill Indigo, who is a full sister to Fern Hill General, who has a mark of 55 and earnings of just shy of 100,000. Jason Hughes aboard the 4, She's Just Misunderstood, a half-sister to Buddy Mock, who is by Western Paradise, who has a mark of 205 and earnings of just shy of 5,000.
Two-year-old pacing fillies here in the Future Stars race number 8. The Control the Moment filly on the rail off the Art Major Dam. Mowed Blue Chip. Century Spring Farms of Gorey, Ontario. The better I'll Bet You, I'll Beat You. Got a Malicious filly from Post 2 off Windermere Nancy. She's the daughter of Astronomical. Windermere Farms, the breeder. Western Lily. The 3 put her nose right on the gate. The Black Filly by Malicious from the Arts Place Dam. Noble Ellen, bred by Brian McLeod of Truro, Nova Scotia. That's Fern Hill Indigo. And scoring on the outside from post position 4, the Malicious filly off the Mach 3 Dam. Bunny Mock. She's Just Misunderstood. Two-year-old filly Pacers on a beautiful Friday evening at the driving park. It's Future Stars Night. And the 8th race, I'll Bet You I'll Beat You. Western Lily, Fernhill Indigo. She's Just Misunderstood, top of the stretch. Here they come. Rough and pacing, She's Just Misunderstood will chase the gate out. Racing second as they make their way to the turn towards that inside. I'll Bet You I'll Beat You. Then the third one on the turn is Western Lily. And off stride at the back, that is Fernhill Indigo. So up the backstretch on route to the quarter, and the Blue Knight Use has sent She's Just Misunderstood to the early lead. Right on her back in the 2-hole, I'll Bet You I'll Beat You, and right with the leaders third, that's Western Lily, and the trailer in the backfield after the miscue. All on the inside is Fernhill Indigo. So 31-4. Open this one up as the fillies race around the turn, arriving at the 3/8. She's Just Misunderstood, the fraction setter. Edging out from the 2-hole is I'll Bet You I'll Beat You. Then in third, Western Lily, and playing catch-up and catching the field, Fernhill Indigo. They're halfway home, and on the front end, She's Just Misunderstood, continuing to lead. I'll Bet You I'll Beat You, the half in 103-4. Western Lily on the turn, races from third, trailing the field. Fernhill Indigo is fourth. To the backstretch they go. Time 2 headed towards the 3/4. On the point, She's Just Misunderstood, continuing to lead. I'll Bet You I'll Beat You is right there in the 2-hole. Racing from third, that is a Western Lily. On the outside, fourth, Fernhill Indigo, 3/4 up in 1:33-4. They went 30 seconds flat in the third, 1/8 of a mile out. And She's Just Misunderstood, turning for home. I'll Bet You I'll Beat You alongside. Fernhill Indigo is third with Western Lily. On the wire next, they're pacing some on the end of it. It looked like She's Just Misunderstood. I'll Bet You I'll Beat You right there alongside. Fernhill Indigo was third with Western Lily fourth. There's the trip. 2:02 flat. Now here's the results from the 8th race. I'll Bet You I'll Beat You was second. Western Lily fourth. Fernhill Indigo was third. She's Just Misunderstood was the race winner. Fractions were up 31-4, 103-4, 133-4, and the mile 2:02. From the top is 2:4.31.
Vance's filly coming back to the winner's circle reminds me of her mother, Bunny Mock. Just goes just like her, and what a big back half from her here.
She's Just Misunderstood arrives at the 8th race winner's circle. The pacing brown filly is 2 by Malicious off the Mach 3 Dam Bunny Mock. A homebred of Donnie McRae's, the Vernon Bridge, and the Blue Knight Jason Hughes put her on top at every call. Hounds about 28-1 closing quarter for a mile and 2:02. She's Just Misunderstood in the Future Stars.
Get the latest edition of the Atlantic Post Gulls. Atlantic Post Gulls covers harness racing in Atlantic Canada and features some great stories from contributors Dr. Don Ling, myself, Rocky Skirman, and other writers, and managing editor Fred Fiddler and McDonald. And Gail McDonald, you can pick up your copy of the Atlantic Post Gulls right here at Red Shores and other island locations. Okay, after that 8th qualifier, we're going to take another break for warm-up, so we'll give you an update on what has transpired so far in the first 8 qualifiers. In qualifier number 1, it was Jackie's Boy, an impressive mile there of 2:01 in that first qualifier. And then in qualifier number 2, it was the one Ocean View Daisy getting it done in a qualifying time of 2:04. In qualifier number 3, it was the one High Roller getting it done in a nice time of 2:04 and 2. And then in qualifier number 4, it was the 5 Baby Be Better getting it done in 2:04 and 2. In qualifier number 5 today, it was the 3 Freaky Fanny and McGuigan getting it done in 2:03 and 2. And then in qualifier number 6, it was the 2 Cardigan Cutie and Corey McPherson in a time of 2:14 and 3. And then in qualifier number 7, it was the 2 Mr. Anderchuk getting it done in a time of 2:04. And then we just watched qualifier number 8, where the 4 got it done. She's Just Misunderstood, and Jason Hughes in a nice time of 2:02 flat.
The 9th baby race of the night has some 2-year-old colts and gelding pacers. One Wizard, only Alan McDonald of East Biddeford and Kent Williams of Ellerslie. Jason Hughes is the trainer. Mark Bradley driving. 2 is Courtly Jester, owned by Donald McCrae of Vernon Bridge. Jason Hughes trains and drives. Majestic Mason is the 3, owned by Stephen Downey, Quizbam, Sis, New Brunswick, for trainer-driver Jill Barrio. 4 is Marigold Magic, owned by Mike May, Herman McQuaid, Derek Cameron, Ian Walker, trained by Melissa Rennie, and Adam Murner drives. 2-year-old colt pacers and the geldings. The nomination deadline for the Gold Cup and Saucer, presented by Atlantic Lottery, is Monday, August 7th. Watch for the new owner's package in Trot Magazine. Here is the $100,000 Gold Cup video presentation. It's the Gold Cup and Saucer, presented by Atlantic Lottery. They go for $100,000. Escape the news in Cup and Saucer 54. Blissful Breeze, Cup and Saucer 52. Anthony McDonald, your dream comes true. Sintra has won the Gold Cup and Saucer.
Oh, that'll be coming up before we know it. The Gold Cup and Saucer, can't wait for it. It was quite a race last year with Sintra getting it done. Anthony McDonald finally getting the Gold Cup and Saucer win. Out onto the track we go here for qualifier number 9. This is the One Wizard, driven by Mark Bradley, a $10,500 purchase at the Atlantic Classic sale. A full brother to Whistler. I really like that horse. By Stonebridge Terror, was a mark of 53 and won a little over $70,000 in earnings. And we're getting a good look at our first Courtly choice here. Jason Hughes has Courtly Gesture. Was an $18,000 purchase at Harrisburg, and a half-brother to P. Zonka by Heston Blue Chip, who has a mark of 53 and 4 with earnings of over $50,000. The 3, Majestic Mason, Gilles Barrio at the helm, is a half-brother to Better in Blue by Better's Delight, who has a mark of 51 and 2 and a little over $100,000 in earnings. And I remember the 4 entry from the baby races that we had back in the spring. Adam Murner is aboard, is a half-brother to Magical Mistress. We all remember her and what a great freshman campaign she had here for Adam Murner and the and Ronnie Gass, and just such a great family this one comes from. And Magical Mistress had a mark of 49 and 4 and made over $300,000 in earnings. Quite a field here.
Oh, babies will be babies, and they're going to the gate here tonight. 2-year-old facing colts and geldings. Stonebridge Terror gelding on the rail off of the intrepid Sealster Dam. White Sand Whisper, bred by Bobby Gordon, Wizard. Then comes the colt by Courtly Choice out of the Better's Delight Dam, Bet on Sis, bred by Winback Farm at Chesapeake City. Courtly Gesture. Got an Arthur Blue Chip colt from Post 3 off the American Ideal Dam, Beautiful in Blue, bred by Stephen Downey of Quizbam, Sis, New Brunswick. Majestic Mason. A Tobago K's Gelding from Post 4 off the Largo Dam, Meridian Magic, bred by Barry Martin and Reuben Martin. Marigold Magic, They're all lined up here in the ninth. Wizard, Courtly Jester, Majestic Mason, Marigo Magic, top of the stretch. They're approaching a start. The rough and pacing coming from the outside, Marigo Magic. That's also Majestic Mason leaving out. He's second into the turn to get away third. That's Wizard, followed by the early trailer, Courtly Jester. Over to the opening eighth, and Adam Murner has put Marigo Magic up front on the lead by 2. Racing from second is Majestic Mason. Back into third is Wizard, and trailing fourth, Courtly Jester. So the 2-year-old colts arrive at the opening quarter. Getting them there is Marigo Magic. Tightening in from second is Majestic Mason. They went 31-1 to open it up. Wizard around the turn is third, followed by the trailer. That is Courtly Jester fourth. Off the turn they come, and they straighten down the stretch. They now have the half mile in their sights, and fronting the field, Marigo Magic. Continuing second is Majestic Mason. Then in third, Wizard, and Courtly Jester trails the field. At the midway point, Marigo Magic leads it, a little better than 2 lengths. Racing second is Majestic Mason. The half mile was 1:04. Third on the turn, that is Wizard. Trailing the field, Courtly Jester. No one has made a move. And up front, Marigo Magic starts to widen the lead, going to 3/4, and the tempo is picked up. Second is Majestic Mason. Third up the rail is Wizard. Trailing the field, Courtly Jester. On past the 3/4, and the tempo really has risen here. 3/4 in 1:34, and 2:30 and 2 in the third. 1/8 of a mile to go, and it's all Marigo Magic. Second is Majestic Mason. Up the inside, Courtly Jester third. Starting to fancy step on the turn was Wizard fourth, but it's Marigo Magic all alone for Adam Murner. Second is Majestic Mason. Courtly Jester third, Wizard fourth, and they're home in 2-0. 2 and 3. That's a 28-1 closing quarter. Now the results from the ninth race: Wizard fourth, Courtly Jester third, Majestic Mason was second, Marigo Magic the race winner. They went 31-1, 1:04, 1:34 and 2. The mile went 2:02 2 and 3. In review, 4-3, 2-1. Well, the dam of this colt was an absolute East Coast champion, and she's put them on the racetrack and put them into the winner's circle. And her latest is Marigo Magic, going to the ninth race winner's circle by pacing gelding 2 by Tobago Cays off the Largo Dam, Meridian Magic. The owners are Mike May, Herman McQuaid, Derek Cameron, and Ian Walker. Bred by Barry and Reuben Martin, trained by Melissa Rennie. Adam Murner is in the driver's seat, throws that 28-1 closing quarter to stop the clock in 2:02 and 3. Marigold Magic in the Future Stars.
The management and staff at Red Shores want your experience to be fun and entertaining. That is why we offer information on how our games work, tips to keep your gambling fun, and available community resources. For more information, please speak to one of our PlayWise advisors or stop by the PlayWise Information Center.
Onto the track come the 2-year-old filly Pacers for the 10th race Future Stars. Number 1 is Sensational Gal, owned by Doug Matheson, Janet Sanderson of Cornwall, trained by Nick Oates, driven by Adam Murner. Zendaya's First Lady, the 2, owned by John Quinn of Charlottetown, trained by Stephen Quinn with Jason Hughes driving. Check Your Beauty, the 3, owned by Jamie Whalen of Vernon Bridge, for trainer-driver Mike McGuigan. Shelley Spirit wears number 4, owned by Gordon, David and Douglas Neal, and Keith Ford. And Keith Ford is the trainer-driver. Live racing back here tomorrow night at the driving park. New post time of 5 o'clock featuring the Home Hardware Maritime Breeders and the Cecil Ladner Memorial Invitation presented by Ladner. Source for Sports tomorrow night. Opener goes at 5 o'clock.
Okay, out onto the track we go for qualifier number 10. There's Adam Murner and the one sensational gal, a $15,000 purchase at last year's Atlanta Classic sale. This filly is the first foal from Quick Decision, who was by Big Jim, who had a qualifying time of 2:01. Last quarter, 27:1. This filly is by Roll With It Harry. Zendaya's First Lady is the 2. Jason Hughes aboard. This filly was a $10,000 purchase at last year's Atlanta Classic sale. She's by Arthur Blue Chip, a half-sister to Zendaya Cougar Beach, who was by Cougar Hall, who was a mark of 55 and over 32,000 in lifetime earnings. And here's another filly by Arthur Blue Chip, Check Your Beauty, half-sister to Check Your Source, who was by Source of Pride, with a mark of 56 and 2 and a little over 37,000 in earnings. And there's the 4, Shelley's Spirit and Bim Ford. This filly's by Peng Shui, a half-sister to Just Call Me Doc, who was by Steelhead Hanover, who has a mark of 54 and 2 and lifetime earnings just shy of 60,000.
So the 2-year-old filly pacers here in the 10th race make their way to the starting gate. Sensational Gal, the Roll With It Harry filly, bred by Bobby Gordon of Elmsdale. Condition by Nick Oakes. Adam Murner in the driver's seat for owners Doug Matheson, Janet Sanderson. Juanita and Alan McLeod of Brackley, the breeders on Zendaya's First Lady. Stephen Quinn training for John Quinn. Jason Hughes is their pilot. Then we have the Arthur Blue Chip filly from Post 3, the homebred of Jamie Whalen, for trainer-driver Mike McGuigan. That's Check Your Beauty. And the 4 Shelley Spirit. The breeders are Gordon, David, and Douglas Neal. They team up with Keith Ford, the trainer-driver. 2-year-old filly pacers. We're on the 10th, and it's Future Stars of Racing night at the driving park. Race 10, top of the stretch. Here they come. And there they go, off and pacing. Coming from the outside is Shelley Spirit. Then to her inside is Zendaya's First Lady as that pair leaving out. Then Sensational Gal is third, and the early trailer, that is Check Your Beauty. They're over to the opening 8th pole, and up front on the lead, Zendaya's First Lady for the Blue Knight Use. Tucked away second now is Shelley Spirit, racing third, Sensational Gal. And trailing the field, that is Check Your Beauty in fourth. So the fillies are over to the opening quarter. Zendaya's First Lady is the fraction setter. She leads by almost 2 lengths. Second into the turn is Shelley Spirit. Then racing from third, Sensational Gal. And trailing the field, Check Your Beauty. The quarter's up in 31-1. And off the turn they come for the first time. And they chase Zendaya's First Lady en route to the opening half mile. Second is Shelley Spirit. Sensational Gal in third. Trailing fourth is Check Your Beauty. Positions unchanged at the opening half mile. Led by Zendaya's First Lady. Getting the 2-hole ride is Shelley Spirit, the half in 103 and a 1. Racing from third is Sensational Gal, followed by the trailer. Check Your Beauty down to 3/8 to go, and up front on the lead, Zendaya's First Lady going to 3/4. The lead now is opened up. Second is Shelley Spirit, then third Sensational Gal, trailing fourth. That is Check Your Beauty. They arrive at 3/4, and Zendaya's First Lady still the leader. Second is Shelley Spirit. Sensational Gal has gone outside of third, and the trailer fourth is Check Your Beauty. The 3/4 in 1:34-4. They're homeward bound. Looking to close it out, Zendaya's First Lady. Sensational Gal on the outside second. Third, Shelley Spirit. Check Your Beauty fourth. It is Zendaya's First Lady all the way for use. Second, Sensational Gal. Third is Check Your Beauty. Shelley Spirit fourth. The mile in 2:04-2. Now the results of race number 10, Sensational Gal was second. Zendaya's First Lady, the race winner. Check Your Beauty third. Shelley Spirit fourth. 31-1. 103-1. 134-4. Mile 2:04-2. From the top, 2-1-3-4. Here's Zendaya's First Lady into the 10th race winner's circle by pacing filly. 2-year-old daughter of Arthur Blue Chip is off the Western Ideal Dam, Sunset City. Home of John Quinn of Charlottetown, bred by Juanita and Alan McLeod of Brackley, trained by Stephen Quinn. And the Blue Knight, Jason Hughes. Header on top at every call, 2:04-2. Zendaya's First Lady in the Future Stars.
When you play Redshores Summerside, you can sign the back of your non-winning ticket in our second chance draw And a grand prize for Governor's Plate. It includes table for 4, Governor's Plate night, hotel room at the new Micro Hotel Inn and Suites in Summerside, and in-room welcome basket, also $40 wagering vouchers, race programs, and $500 cash. Second chance draws for Governor's Plate grand prize package until Canada Day.
Two-year-old Colts and Gelding Pacers for the 11th race of our Future Stars. Roll Your Coin is the one, owned by Tom Hollis, Wayne Burley of Truro, Nova Scotia. Mike McGuigan, training and driving. The 2 is Rockin' Your Boots for owner Donald McRae of Vernon Bridge and trainer-driver Jason Hughes. Check Your Chip is the 3, owned by Greg and Lucas Bailey of Montague. Miles Heffernan Jr., the trainer, and Miles Sr. drives. On a Hot Streak wears 4, home with Nick Way Farm, St. David's, Newfoundland. Jill's Barrio, training and driving. Be There in a Bit is number 5, owned by Robbie Hughes of Stratford, John Collins of Brudenell. Trained by Jason Hughes, Mark Bradley does the driving. The Prince Edward Island Standardbred Breeders Association proudly presents the Atlantic Dream Stable of 2023 competition. This is a fundraiser for the IWK and the great way they support all the work they do in our maritime community. Presented by the PEI Standardbred Breeders Association, sponsored by Phillips Agri Services, your local supplier of quality horse feeds and proud dealers of Brooks Performance Horse Feed, Suregain Horse Feed. Additional runner-up prizes donated by Red Shores. More details on your TV screen right now.
And the contestant with the highest aggregate earnings in 2023 wins the first prize of $2,000 cash, and entries close on July 22nd. And complete details are at atlanticdreamstable.weebly.com. Okay, 11th qualifier on the track right now. Colts on track. Mike McGuigan on the one here. Roll Your Coin. Roll Your Coin was a $26,000 purchase from last year's Atlanta Classic sale. He is from the high-producing Dam J.J. Solera, who has produced 7 race winners from 8 foals. Roll Your Coin is a half-brother to Carter's Caper, who has a mark of 52-1 and earnings of over $172,000. And there's the two. You don't see this too often. Jason Hughes aboard the 2 Rockin' Your Boots. This colt is by a trotter, E.L. Rocket, homebred of Donnie McRae of Vernon Bridge. He is the 5th foal from Lucky Boot Camp, who took a record of 54 2.5 and had earnings of over $53,000. And there's the 4 on a hot streak, and Gilles Barrio, by all bets off, is a homebred of Nickway Farms of St. David's, Newfoundland. The colt is a half-brother to the speedy Pembroke Ideal BJ, who has a lifetime earnings of $50,000 and a mark of 55-3. There's the 3 Check Your Chip. Miles Heffernan aboard by Arthur Blue Chip was purchased from the 2022 Atlanta Classic yearling sale by Greg Bailey and his son Lucas Bailey. This is young Lucas' first foray into horse ownership with his father, and the astute young horseman selected this colt and handed the training and driving duties over to his grandfather, Miles Heffernan Sr. Check Your Chip is a half-brother to Fast Lots, who has a record of 57-1. And the 5, Be There in a Bit. Mark Braley gets a call. Source of Pride is the sire, the second foal of Western Paradise Dam, Miss Kokomo. And this colt's half-sister, Come On Pretty Mama by Militias, is currently racing and has been individually timed in 2 minutes over Churro Raceway.
Kurt, I must ask Donnie McRae how he come to go to E.L. Rocket with his Cam Luck pacing mare Lucky Boot Cam. I'm sure there's a story in behind that one. Love to hear it. There's 5 of them to line up here in our future stars of racing here on this Friday night. These are 2-year-old Colts and Gelding Pacers. It's once around the track to get used to that starting gate, off to the races. And it's Governor's Plate week of racing when the Atlantic Sire Stakes gets in full swings for the 2-year-old Colt Pacers and the Filly Pacers, and along with the Trotters. They make their debut in stake action at the Prince County Oval. In the 11th, Roll Your Coin, Rockin' Your Boots, Check Your Chip on a hot streak. Be There in a Bit. Top of the stretch. Now approaching a start. The rough and pacing Check Your Chip gets the first call. Second one into the turn on a hot streak and way wide for third. Be There in a Bit towards the inside, and racing from fourth, that is Rockin' Your Boots. The early trailer is Roll Your Coin. Up the backstretch they go, led by Heffernan. Aboard Check Your Chip, en route to the quarter by a couple. Away racing second is on a hot streak, now third up the rail. Be There in a Bit. Racing from fourth is Rockin' Your Boots, and the early trailer is Roll Your Coin. They're on past the opening quarter mile. Check Your Chip cuts it out. 31-2 was the quarter. His lead 2 racing from second as they arrive at the 3/8. on a hot streak. In at the rail third, Be There in a Bit. Then racing fourth is Rockin' Your Boots. And trailing the field, Roll Your Coin is fifth. A straight alignment at the opening half mile. And it's Check Your Chip. Halfway home, the lead three. Racing from second on a hot streak. Into the turn, Be There in a Bit continues third. Fourth is Rockin' Your Boots, and trailing the field, Roll Your Coin, the opening half mile in 1:01 and 4. That was 30 and 2 in the second quarter. On the backstretch they go. They're headed to three quarters, led by Check Your Chip, racing from second on a hot streak. Third up the rail, Be There in a Bit. Racing fourth is Rockin' Your Boots, and on the outside, Roll Your Coin is fifth. Three quarters in 1. 31 and 3. That was 29 and 4 in the third split. And it's all Check Your Chip turning for home. Second on a hot streak. On the outside for third, Be There in a Bit. As they land on the line, Check Your Chip. The Arthur Blue Chip Colt for Miles Sr. goes all the way. Second, that's Be There in a Bit. Roll Your Coin up third. Time for the mile in 2:01 and 1. Now the results from the 11th baby race. Roll Your Coin was third. Rockin' Your Boots fourth. Check Your Chip, the race winner. On a hot streak was fifth. Be There in a Bit finished second. 31 and 2. 1:01 and 4. 1:31 and 3. 2:01 and 1. In review, 3:41. 5-2.
Great eye by co-owner young Lucas Bailey here. This is his first dip into horse ownership. He selected this colt, selected his grandfather to drive and train. Not too shabby. Might have to get him, Lucas, to pick out my next yearling.
Well, Team Heffernan's had a good night here in the Future Stars. Here comes their latest winner in the 11th. That's Check Your Chip, a pacing colt 2 by Arthur Blue Chip. Off the Rock and Roll Hanover Dam Toujours, owned by Gregory and Lucas Bailey of Montague. Bred by Jamie Whalen of Vernon Bridge. Trained by Miles Jr., and that's Miles Sr. in the driver's seat. He's home in 2:01 and 1. Check Your Chip in the Future Stars.
When you play Red Shores Charlottetown, you can sign the back of your non-winning ticket in our second chance draw. And grand prize for the Gold Cup and Saucer. It includes a table for 4 on Gold Cup night on the trackside patio, hotel room at the Home and Grand, in-room welcome basket, $40 wagering vouchers, race program, and $500 cash. Second chance draws for the Gold Cup and Saucer grand prize package underway July 2nd until August 5th.
On the track now for the 12th and the final. Promise Me Later, number 1, owned by Kingsley Walsh and Frank Balcom and Sam Walsh. Norris Rogers, the trainer driver. 2 Wednesday is owned by Miles Heffernan of Montague. He does the driving. Miles Heffernan Jr. is the trainer. First filly, Chip the 3, owned by Dave Turney of Cornwall, trained by Curry White out of Myrna. She's My Treasure, number 4, Ominick Way Farm, St. David's, Newfoundland. Jill's Barrio, training and driving. The future stars of racing. Baby races on the track. A special thank you goes out to the PEI Harness Racing Industry Association, Red Shores and Greenhawk for special winter circle presentations. We hope you enjoy the new harness racing virtual display set up at the trackside patio. We appreciate you coming out to our special event on this night, the future stars of racing.
Okay, it was nice to see these 2-year-old babies go here tonight, and we got another round of babies coming your way on October 6th. The next Atlantic Classic sale takes place on October 6th at 11:30 a.m. at the Crapo Exhibition Grounds, and join us on October 5th from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Exhibition Grounds for the yearling preview. Visit Atlantic-Classic.com for sale preview, online sale catalog, pedigree links, and sale results. And a special thank you to Julie Jameson and Zach Conway from the PEI Industry Association. They provided me with all the information here on these babies tonight, so thanks to Julie and Zach. They worked hard on this all day long here today, and so really appreciate it, and nice to get all this info on these 2-year-olds on the track. And here they are on the track for the 12th qualifier. The one, Promise Me Later, is a full sister to Promise Me Art by Articulator, who took a mark of 151.4 and has $55,000 in earnings. Norris Rogers aboard the 1, Miles Heffernan aboard the 2. Wednesday, it is a Better Than Cheddar filly out of Eastern Shore by Sports Writer, who is an earner of $16,000 in her career and took a mark of 201.3. Adam Murner aboard the 3. First Filly Chip is a half-sister to Hello Mr. P by State Treasure, who took a mark of 154 and has a lifetime earnings of over $55,000. And this filly's by Arthur Blue Chip. And the 4, She's My Treasure, Gilberto at the lines. This filly's by Malicious, and she's a half-sister to Arc Light by Cam Mystic, who has a mark of 153.3 and earnings of over $104,000.
Well, it was the first time, Kurt, that we put the future stars of racing together on a Friday evening. I kind of like the format. They've been very impressive.
Yeah, it's been a great night. A lot of eye-catching performances. Kenny Murphy, that trotter that he had going earlier on the night, really caught my eye. And then that one out of Meridian Magic, the Connections lost her. So this is her last full Marigo Magic. Nice to see him do so well tonight. But a lot of eye-catching performances, a lot of talent on the track tonight.
Kind of looking forward to Governor's Plate week up home when the Atlantic Sire State program gets underway. So our future stars of racing about to wrap it up. It's race number 12 with the 2-year-old filly Pacers. Promise Me Later. Wednesday, First Filly Chip. She's My Treasure. Top of the stretch. So the 1, Promise Me Later, a little gate shy, get a little fancy step, and back down pacing here. And there they go, off and pacing, and the first one out, that's Wednesday. Second, as they go into the first turn, racing there is She's My Treasure, along the rail for third. As they race round the turn, First Filly Chip and Promise Me Later. The early trailer, how's about Loose on the lead in here? That is Wednesday, the Better Than Cheddar filly. She is all alone here approaching the opening quarter mile. Racing from second, in at the rail, She's My Treasure. Now in third, that is First Filly Chip. And Promise Me Later is fourth. There's a 29 and 1 opening quarter. Heard about this filly Wednesday, and you talk about freewheeling, and I mean freewheeling on the lead here for Miles Sr. Racing from second is She's My Treasure. First Filly Chip's in third. Trailing the field, Promise Me Later. How's about the opening half mile? Missionized here in the finale, and that is Wednesday. 57 and 2. That is incredible. 28 and 1 in the second quarter. As she swings on by the 5/8, she's strictly up against the clock on this night. It's Wednesday all alone going to 3/4. Racing from second is She's My Treasure. Up third on the outside is Promise Me Later. Now trailing at the rail, First Filly Chip. The 3/4 in the books, and Wednesday got them there. 1:27 and 2 was the time. Racing around the turn, she's an eighth of a mile out, and what a performance she's putting on here in the nightcap. Wednesday all alone. Second is She's My Treasure. Promise Me Later third. First Filly Chip. But the story of future stars here in the nightcap, Wednesday, the better than Cheddar filly, takes Miles Sr. all the way. She's My Treasure was second. Third, that is Promise Me Later. Wednesday's home in 1:58.1. Now the results from the 12th race. Promise Me Later third. Wednesday the winner. First Filly Chip fourth, and She's My Treasure second. 29 and 1. 57 and 2. 127 and 2. And the mile 158 and 1. From the top, it's 3-1-4-2. Well, it's been quite a night for Team Heffernan on this Future Stars of Racing night at the Driving Park. They top it off with quite a performance here in the 12th by Wednesday. Bay Pacing Filly 2, but better than Cheddar, off the Sports Writer Dam Eastern Shore. Owned by Miles Heffernan Sr. Miley did the driving. Miles Jr. does the training. Filly bred by Jeff Williamson of Blythe and Connie McTaggart of Harris, Ontario. A going-away winner in 158 and 1 Wednesday in the 12th.